Hey everyone, it's Sorfuse here today, and Lulu was released, which is pretty sweet. Really excited for these cards. They're very interesting ones. And Lulu, the champion herself, she is a 3-mana 2/3 with the support. Supported ally grows to a 4/4, so it is the health and the attack is set to a 4/4 for this round, so you want to play with units that are under 4/4 to get the value out of her. So she works really well with low cost units, which is pretty sweet. And then her level up is our allies have been supported 3+ times, and that is really good because it is not I've seen. So even if you draw her later and you played support cards, you're going to have her leveled up. She's a very easy level up, which is really nice to have. And when she is leveled up, round start, create a fleeting help picks and hand, and that is a burst and fleeting. Give an ally barrier or the enemy vulnerable this round, and it cannot be cast in combat because obviously that'd be insane if you could do a 1-mana barrier, but you can cast it before you go into combat, which is pretty sweet. A really good card. And then support, my supported ally grows to a 5/5 this round, which a 5/5 stat line is really, really good. So she has a pretty good level up overall. The fleeting help picks is pretty sweet. I like Lulu quite a bit. I think she will see play, and I'm pretty excited to play her in the support archetype. It's going to be a lot of fun. Next card is a Lulu's Whimsy. It is a burst. This is the card that people are either think it's a 4-mana purify or it's just something insane. People are very just opposite extremes of this card. I tend to be more toward the it's good route because the flexibility of this card is insane. It can be a Will of Ionia, it can be a Fury of the North, it can blow out your opponents, it has a ton of outplay potential, it has just a really high ceiling, which Purify does too, but this card has a lot more flexibility than Purify because this can be used as a removal card. In a lot of cases, it can be used as a combat trick. Yes, I know it says for this round, but the thought is you're attacking, and then they block with something, and then you whimsy it, then you get a trade where, it's all of a sudden you take one attack to kill a decent sized creature. So like even a 4 or 5 mana creature, like killing Radiant Guardian with this is pretty sweet. Killing anything above 5 mana is just insane with this card, especially if you can get them to like play Fury of the North or something on it preemptively, and then you're playing Whimsy. It's pretty funny to think about. So I think this card will be pretty good. It's obviously very meta dependent. If it's a burn aggro meta, this card is not going to be very good in a burn aggro meta. It's just going to be too slow. But in any kind of like mid-range or control meta, I can see this card being played quite a bit, and I'm pretty excited to see what it does because there are plenty of people that think that this card won't see any play at all, which I think regardless, there's a small chance of that, but I think it's pretty unlikely. I think this card is pretty meta-defining overall because all of a sudden you have to be worried about your big boys being transformed into a 1/1 squirrel for the round. So I think that is just so much pressure for a card that you can just hold in your hand to have. I think that is pretty nuts, and this card is main deckable. It's important to note that it doesn't have a gem, but that's just because it's a champion spell, so they don't have the golden gems. The other one is the token, which is the squirrel that it turns itself into. Not much to say about that because that is the token. And then Fey Guide, play, grant an ally elusive. So this is a 4-mana 3/3, which people were thinking that was kind of bad, but like Trump Hope is a 4-mana 4/3, and of course it's part of a combo, but it's really not a bad body for what it is. Honestly, having 3 attack and 3 health are the two biggest things, so I don't think that's detrimental in any way. I think granting elusive, it's kind of hard to see exactly where this would fit, because you don't really want to give it to like a big boy because there's a good chance your opponent has elusives to chump block, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to just have it as another, there's just flexibility in this card. I don't really know how to place this card. This is a card I personally find the hardest to place. I feel like there's places that it will go, especially when we have gyms buffing things up. I think that's important to recognize as well. But it's hard to say exactly what it will do and what it will hit. And it might not work in the next, with this expansion, but maybe in the future it becomes something that we see in a combo or something. It's really, really hard to say. And then the 1 mana Pix, and I like it has an exclamation mark, and like all of the Lulu cards do. It fits her so well. Support, give my support ally plus 2/1 this round, which is interesting. Like, this card is going to get... It's only this round, so I don't think it's going to be that good. I can't block or do anything. If it was a 1/1, it'd be so much better. But it's like, maybe you could play it with a Fleet Feather Tracker, and even then it's still like not that great, because it is only this round too. It'd be a little bit different if it wasn't this round. It'd be quite a bit better, but I just don't really see it fitting in anything. But can never say for sure. Startled Stomper. Oh, I love the elephant. I love elephants as animals, so I love this art quite a bit. And it is a 2 mana 2/3 with Overwhelm, and it looks like it is a Targonian card, not an Ionian card. And I just see this going with the Taric decks. I put in Taric decks quite a bit. That's what I see it going with. It goes with Taric buff decks, and I like this card quite a bit. It's not the worst thing to play on too, even without buffs. So I like it. I like this card. It makes me happy. Before I wrap this up, I definitely see some pretty good cards in here and cards I'm excited to try with. But I want to say that I am not, you might be wondering why I'm not using cam right now, and I'm usually not the lazy person, and I'm not really being so right now, but my grandfather, I got a call yesterday during my stream that my grandfather had a stroke and is in the hospital, and it's affecting me a lot. I'm pretty upset by this, so I'm going to be like mostly doing non-cam reviews of cards, at least for the next couple days. It'll depend on how he's doing, obviously. It was considered to be like a minor stroke, and he's doing okay, but they're pretty worried about him having another one. And he's going to be in therapy for at least the next 6 months. He's having a hard time talking. His mobility seems okay. But yeah, he's in his early 70s, but he, like, literally last week, he was helping me plant flowers and rake leaves. Like, he's a very active person. He just retired, like, 6 months or so ago. He was a full-time psychologist, and he just has a really big heart. I love him a lot. He's one of those psychologists that would give every one of his clients his personal number, that if they ever needed help, that they could call him. And that's just not something that you really see, because it's, it's stressful for the psychologist too, he would answer calls at 3 a.m. in the morning helping people with their problems or their mental health, and he's just given his life to other people, and it's really hard to see this. It's something that I wasn't expecting to happen now, like right after his retirement. It was something that, it's something that I was thinking in 10 years this might start happening, when he's in his 80s, that this stuff was going to start happening. And it wasn't something I expected to happen right now. So hopefully he's able to, even though it's a long road, hopefully recovery happens and that he'll be okay. So yeah, my gameplay videos, I have one pre-recorded. I'm not sure when I'll post that or when the next one will be. For now, it's just going to be talking about cards, and when I get up to editing my gameplay video, I'll post that. I'm not sure when I'll stream next because of this either. As I said, it's been hard on me and hard on my family, and I'm not sure if I'll be going to see them at all either. It's hard to say because we can't actually, he's going to be in the hospital for 5 to 7 days, and you can't go in the hospital because of COVID. So I can't even go see him right now, which is pretty tough too, or else I would be seeing him. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye!
That's how we do things in Bilgewater.